Welcome back to my channel, Frugal with John. Today we're going to be doing rear brakes on a Mercedes-Benz C300. The tools I'm going to be using are kind of laid out here. Mostly hand tools, some big C-clamps, screwdrivers, a bungee cord to tie up the caliper. While I'm doing this job, I'm going to show you where the jack points are on the Mercedes. I'm using a quick jack, 7,000 pound, and it just is long enough to hit the jack points on this one. So I'll go underneath and I'll with the camera later and I'll show you where those are. And also how to back the park brake off if it doesn't come off. Okay, to start, I got a little container here. Anything I take off, I'm going to put it in here. So to start off, I'll just take these off the back. And another thing I'm going to take off is the rubber on the bleeder screw. I'm going to back the brakes off a little differently than what most people do. Two reasons. The master cylinder is full, and I don't like pushing the piston together and putting all the dirty fluid that's in here, possibly dirty fluid, and messing up the ABS. So I'm going to bleed it as I push it together while it's still together. And there's so much rust on this vehicle, the shoes are actually rusted to the carrier. So if I don't back it off, I'm never going to get this off. I had the same problem. I did the other side first. I'm going to the second side now, and it was a nightmare. Everything was rusted together. 11 millimeter, just to loosen it off a bit. Shove that over the bleeder screw. Shove that up there. Like that so it doesn't blind me. And I just back the bleeder screw off a bit. I'll take a 6-inch C-clamp. You can see the fluid coming up the line. And no air can get in the system because right now the bleeder screw in this line is full. So I'll tighten that down. Okay, bring that down lower. Back this off and put the brake fluid in here. Okay, that's going to make it easier to get that off. Okay, now we're just going to make sure the bleeder screw is tight. I'm just going to back onto the socket. Okay, it's tight. And I'm just going to put the cap back on it. If they don't have the caps on them, I wouldn't suggest that because they normally seize up. But when they have a cap, they're normally pretty good. Okay, next thing we're going to do is take the caliper off. I'll take the spring off first. Springs off, then we'll take these off. Now I find what works with that is, for the top one, it's a 7 millimeter Allen. Goes in here, but the bottom one, which is right here, the ratchet won't fit, so what I have is a an extension with a flex tip on it. So it goes in, and I was just enough to get around this piece here, so we're good there. And so I'll get those tools under there. when I was talking about the sensor, the left side of the vehicle, driver's side, doesn't have one, only the passenger side, which is right here, and I already did this side. So anyway, here's the back shoe that it goes in, and it slides in the shoe, and it plugs into the connector. And when you do it, you take the connector off. I'll show the other side. Like I say, there's none on the driver's side. There was only one on the passenger side. This is what the shoes were on this side, or the pads. Yeah, the bolt that holds the sensor in is an E12. It goes in here. So it's an E12 there. When you take the caliper off, take it off first and let it hang down here and just unplug it here or cut the wire for the old one. And like I say, it's an E12. Goes here. The other side, I don't have to worry about it, so we're going to go back to the other side. Yeah, when I was saying that you can't get it in because of this, so you put this in here. You get this extension. It's made that way for flexing, and that will fit in there. Top one, you don't need it. That one's out. I'm going to get the other one from the other side, the top, so I can grab the caliper at the same time. Okay, like I said, I'm going to have the same problem again. The shoe is actually stuck to the carrier. So I'm going to put these two over here. And now I'm going to have to get a hammer and pry this off the carrier, or there's no way without ripping or destroying this caliper. This is all due to our Canadian winters and the brine they're putting on the roads, which is destroying everything. No, it's going to break the... I'm worried about ripping the boot. I can't get that off. Okay. And we didn't rip the boot, which is good. These shoes are stuck on there. I'm going to get that off. I'm going to have to beat that off. Okay. Let's get this up here. Okay, that's up out of the way, because I'm going to have to beat this off also. Okay, so let's get these shoes out of here. That's how badly they're seized on. Okay, that's one off. That's how much pad was left on it. But now I got a major cleanup to do on this because this is all rusted. And let's see if we can get the inside one out. They're supposed to just slide right out. There. Okay. There was the other one. And it was pretty bad. Now, we're going to take the carrier out. Now what I'm using here is an 18. Not right away. 18, this is a ratcheted one, so we put that one aside to break it free. This is a 19. I'll show you what the 19 for. What the 19 is for in a second. Okay, I'm going to grab it from the other side. It's hard to push, it's easy to pull. Okay, there's one. You can beat on them with a hammer, but I tend to don't like using a hammer on my wrenches. There we go. What's that? Done? Well, they're loosened off. Now I gotta take them off. Going out. I get it now. Okay, and this here is going to need a major cleanup. Now let's see if we get the rotor off. Okay, now we'll take a T30, Torx 30, and take this out. I sprayed this earlier with penetrating oil quite a few times. Okay, we'll take that and we'll shove that over here. Yeah. Okay, now we'll try to get this rotor off. Okay, it's loose, but the problem is this person never used the park brake. So therefore the park brake, the drum inside the park brake has rusted and it's grabbed the shoes. So I got to go in through here and back them off. I'll show you how to do that. I'll explain that a bit, but in order to see it I got to switch ends on my light because I need a focus beam instead of this one. So I'm just going to install this one here. Okay, I'm guessing it should be right here. So I'm going to have to get the holes on the inside. I'll show you once it's off how it's done. I got to get the inside hole over to about here before I can back off the park brake. I'm still not on it. Let me change the end on this again because this one's too wide. It's blinding from the outside.
Hide from me.
It should be lined up right here. Well, it was just there and it didn't show.
Maybe that one is different than the other one.
Hmm? And it should just a bit more, and I should be on the adjuster. I'm gonna sit down so I don't break my knees. Oh, there it is.
There is it?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Okay, you do the plus.
So just a bit more.
You need the center.
I don't know if you can see it or not.
Yeah.
Anyway, the adjuster is in there. Take a screwdriver and back it off, and then I get this off. It wouldn't be a problem if they use a park brake, but they don't. See if I'm going the right way. If that went tighter, then I went the wrong way. It's got looser, so let's just keep going a bit more. It's just a little seized up. Nothing's working in here. Okay.
You got it.
Okay. What we're looking at here is these holes are all the way through here, so.
Make a light. Yeah. Just like a white light. Wide on. Wide. Yeah, that's one.
Okay. So here's the adjuster. And if I would have lined up over here, it would have been better, but. And when you're looking through, look for that little spring here. So you come in through here, and then you line up through one of these holes, and you're able to back off the park brake. And like I say, it wouldn't be an issue if they use it, but there's a ridge on this. There shouldn't be a ridge. It may have one time somebody may have left the park brake on. Anyway, there's a ridge. There's no way of getting it off unless you back it off. Anyway, okay. So we'll get this all cleaned up and back together.